Gerald McClellan was a two-time world boxing champion by the age of 25.
That's cool, Gerald.
At the Kronk Gym in Detroit, he worked with the renowned trainer Manny Stewart. The G-Man's promoter was boxing's most powerful figure.
Gerald McClellan is a miniature Mike Tyson.
I hear you, G-Man.
Look at the man's record. Had 20-odd knockouts in the first round. The guy was a dangerous #1 hit man in America.
When he came over here to box Nigel, he was the heavy favourite. I mean, everybody expected him to win the fight.
You can't hide, Nigel, man. You can't hide. Coming at you. Man, you know where you at. G-Man is on the case.
You're going to sit mini Mike Tyson on you. You said it to the wrong person.
This is one of the most eagerly anticipated fights on both sides of the Atlantic for many, many years. It's going to be absolutely dynamite when it lasts.
You got a problem, call me up, 'cause I'm the fucking problem solver.
The most violent man that ever put on a pair of gloves. I said that I want to kneel in prayer, and Gerald said, all of a sudden you want to get motherfucking religious?
The G-Man. He's so overwhelming because he's so strong, he's so aggressive, he's so mean.
There was violence in the air all around the fight.
He didn't want to win. He didn't want to win the fight. He actually wanted to kill Nigel Benn. He actually thought he was going to do it in the first round.
It's showtime! We knew we had two of the most exciting fighters on the planet.
Second time.
You'd be warned.
We didn't know it was going to start the way it did in the opening round.
It was so funny, I actually looked at Gerald McClellan and I looked at him and I thought, oh, he ain't big.
McClellan looking for him straight away, Reg. Right from the opening bell, he's looking for the finisher.
He's not really big, he was just really a slim-looking guy.
I remember Gerald drilling Nigel Benn into the rope. He was right there in my corner.
And I remember him hitting me, and I felt my ligaments in my neck just stretched and I went out.
He's through the ropes. He looks as though he's done him in the opening round. The count is 6, 7. Is he going to climb back? Can he make it back?
Absolutely by knockout.
Le président mexicain qui a demandé à l'Europe quel est votre meilleur arbitre européen. On a dit Alfred Azaro.
That's it, he survived the round anyway. Kevin Sanders, the new trainer, talking to Nigel Benn. He's got to dig himself out.
If you hit me, I will get up. I'm not one of them Brits that are going to lay down. Proudly British, I'm going to go out on my shield.
Second time, round 2.
When he got up, gritted his teeth and just stood there. Come on, let's have it.
There's the old Dark Destroyer now.
The sheer power and the punches and the drama.
Listen to this crowd, the chanting, the singing.
Naz was there, Don King jumping up and down. Bruno was going up and down, he had this red suit on him. It looked ridiculous.
That suit?
Oh, Tesco, man. Primark.
No chance.
Look at the heart of Nigel Benn. There's the bell for round 2.
I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel nothing at all because of Denny Mancini.
Start out thinking this fella. The fella's running out of idea.
Look at him, you've got him, you've got him. He made me believe that I had him every round.
It's such a contrast, your corner, to what many felt was wrong with his corner.
Yeah.
Him in the fucking ring in the war, wasn't nobody else.
He's gonna be beat up. Believe me, he's gonna be beat up.
We were there. We was in the trenches. Come on.
Nice body shot, baby.
Stan Johnson was in charge of Gerald McClellan's corner. They went back a long way, to Gerald's days as a teenage hopeful.
Under pressure, you get nervous. When you get nervous, you forget.
I can't even say that you would classify him as a coach.
I'm a very experienced trainer and probably one of the best in the damn business. And Gerald knew that. That's why he hired me.
Had you ever heard of him?
Going into the fight with Nigel Benn, I understand that it was total chaos for the whole 2 weeks that he was in London.
That's worse than yesterday. You're buying time by not calling punches, by doing this.
How well prepared was Gerald for the
Gerald
fight?
was in tip-top shape for the fight.
When I walked in Gerald's dressing room, I asked him what he was doing his hands up for. And his words to me were, "These idiots don't know how to do it."
I was the best rapper in the world. Matter of fact, I think I rapped one of these hands.
Now, when you are saying that not 20 minutes before a fight, you're in trouble.
McClellan had won his 3 previous contests in round 1.
Sheer exhaustion could decide this fight.
Approaching the halfway stage of his first fight at super middleweight, some were seeing warning signs.
McClellan now seems to be having trouble breathing.
Almost losing the gum shield there as though he's spitting it out.
This situation should have been evaluated when Gerald's mouthpiece wouldn't stay in his mouth.
Finally, the mouthpiece was hanging precariously the last few rounds, and it finally goes up. They're still going.
They didn't know what they were doing. And I'm there. I'm supposed to be the tick paddy watching all what's happening. And I'm thinking to myself, this is organised chaos.
He wanted a winner, and we all want winners, but there comes a time in a fight when you look at a gang and you know it's time to stop. It's a really, really, really important job.
Some say that Gerald should have been pulled out of that fight much earlier.
Why would he be pulled out of the fight that early? He was never in trouble. He was never knocked down. He was never hurt.
Sans coin, qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Il jette l'éponge. Il l'a pas fait. Les seuls, pour l'instant, les responsables de ce drame, c'est son entourage.
Wrong fucking answer. I'll tell you this, Mr. Referee. My job is to promote a fighter, to get up off the stool, to go wreak havoc on the son of a bitch in the other corner. That's my job. Your fucking job is to stop fights, not mine.
They can't even hear the bell. McClellan's still sitting.
Well, McClellan doesn't look like he's interested to come out and do battle. He looks like he's losing heart.
Stan Johnson says he's seen Gerald just 3 times since the night of the fight.
I had to go to a psychiatrist a few times just to get myself together with this shit, you know what I'm saying?
The last time they spoke, Stan says Gerald called him the best coach in the world.
Still got the hat?
Yeah, it's like a trademark. It's like Don King, you know what I'm saying?
Gerald knocked it off, didn't he, during training?
Yeah, he would knock off during training. Yeah, he sure would. Yes, he would. Yeah, he would. Broke my teeth during training too. But he paid for them. Some people say he did it on purpose. Gerald would be that kind of person.
What are your strengths, do you think?
Boxing, punching, I can do it all.
Are there any weaknesses there?
No, just me.
Of the fighters I have trained, he probably had the biggest mean streak of all of them.
Gerald, a Labrador. Taped the Labrador's mouth with duct tape and let his dog Zeus kill the dog. And I said, why would you take a dog like a Labrador, which can't even fight? Labrador's a kid dog. Tape his mouth where he don't got no chance at all. Gerald's answer back to me was this. Same way in boxing. All I need to do is taste some blood once in a while. And that's all my dog needs to do. He needs to kill something once in a while.
I'll be damned, son.
You tired of me, bitch.
This isn't a fight, it's a Hollywood script.
It was like Rumble in the Jungle with Muhammad Ali.
McClellan with a hard right, followed by a left. Ben's in trouble. He's staggered against the rope.
Every second, every split second, you didn't know what was going to happen. You're like this. But
a relentless attack. Back comes Nigel Benn out of nowhere. A right hand by McClellan.
And referee is close to stopping this.
Benn buckled over. A right hand by McClellan. Down goes Benn.
When you get knocked down, did you come back and be a bit more clever, hold him like he's your boyfriend or something like that?
Ben is in horrible shape.
Either side of you, Don King,
Yeah,
Frank Warren.
yeah. I was supporting Nigel Benn. I didn't even know he was beside me. I was so intense in the fight. He could have been Mickey Mouse, Batman beside me.
And money was one of the reasons Gerald's coach, for most of his professional life, was not in his corner.
Gerald McClellan and I had separated because he had been convinced that he could survive without having a manager.
Just remember what I said.
I don't want to go into that. I mean, it's a phase of my life. The man said, fuck me, he left me, but I've did a lot. Because there's not too many good things I have about
At this point, Manny Stewart threatened to stop the interview.
But he went totally crazy.
I hear you, G-Man.
You gotta wonder what's going through the mind of McClellan right now. He thought he had him.
And here comes the charge of the Light Brigade.
When you got so used to knocking over people, and you knock down one and one gets up again, oh my God.
We're into uncharted territory for Gerald McClellan.
First time he got into a 9th round in his life, McClellan.
He went down in round 9 to say that, you know, that I butted him, which was an accident.
Nigel Benn threw a big left hook, missed with the left hook about a country mile, but with his big ass head slammed into Gerald McClellan's forehead.
Butted on the way down.
It wasn't a butt by any means, he fell.
Gerald said, he butted me, man.
Oh boy, here we go.
Get up! 1, 2, and he started counting. Gerald got up.
Ringside observers had already noticed something about McClellan,
McClellan's still winking, his eyes still hurting, and he got hit hard.
which would now become more apparent.
We all noticed that we couldn't stop talking. Why is he blinking?
Looking back, I can't remember warning signs. I mean, fighters pull their faces around and all the rest of it.
He's blinking a lot, isn't he, Jim? You noticed that, McClellan, on the way back?
And there were 5 doctors sitting around. Nobody said to me, oh, we could have a problem here, or anything like that. This didn't occur.
Maybe a mannerism, but I doubt it. I've never noticed it before in these fights that I've seen.
The corner should have picked that up.
What about the referee?
That's a good question.
Il cligne des yeux. Tout le monde peut avoir des déclignements des yeux ou boxer la bouche ouverte, mais c'est pas un critère pour arrêter un combat. Ce n'est pas possible.
He should have been pulled out. Come on, for God's sake.
But the coach who had treated Gerald like a son blames only one person. The champion who sacked him.
He was virtually on his own over there, making his own decisions, doing the thing, but that's a decision that he had made. And therefore, when he had problems in his fight and he come back to his corner, he's looking at Stan Johnson, and they're looking at him because, Joe, you're supposed to tell us what to do. If I had been with Joe McClellan, I don't think the tragedy would have happened.
He's been on the camera 2 times. He can't win this fight, son. He cannot win the fight.
Now listen, the half swallowed it that round.
But Ben's corner was growing in confidence.
3 rounds to go. Come on, you'll be the champion of champions. Come on.
I was thinking that I'm just going to make this to the 12 rounds. That was how confident I was that I was going to do 12 rounds.
Second time.
It was like,
You're going to the brink, aren't you?
yes, that's it.
Listen to me, baby. We're going into the 10th round. So they can't say you ain't never been before because you've been there already. We're in the 10th round.
Boxing's a macho game.
These shots he's fucking both is still on, telling you.
He's gone, Nigel. Short fight if you want it, then.
If you're knocked out cold by a big punch, then fine, people accept that.
This man cannot win this fight unless you give this fight to him. He cannot win, G. You so far behind me.
That if you quit just because it's becoming a little bit too tough, then people tend to look down on that.
10th round.
Early in the 10th, punches were exchanged. And McClellan put his hand up to his left eye, as if there was a cut, but there wasn't.
Right hand from Ben there.
And then he went down.
McClellan goes down to 1 knee.
That is the strangest knockdown I've seen.
It came out of nowhere. He gets up at 7.
He almost swallowed in the previous round. This is great signs for Nigel Benn.
And you can see he got hit with 2 bullshit punches and he went to his knee. He got hit with another bullshit punch and he went to his knee.
He goes down again.
What's hurting him? Something is hurting him.
He's shaking his head. He's going to count him out, isn't he?
After 1 minute and 39 seconds of round 10, it was all over.
Là, je compte non pas 8, 9, 10. Finish.
He's going to count him out, Jim. He's done him. He's quit.
Nigel Benn has won.
The experts were unanimous in their verdict.
I can't believe that. I've never seen a guy quit in a corner like that. What was that?
We were looking at a fighter who had decided to go onto 1 knee and not carry on with the battle. That suggests that he's decided to quit.
Knowing my brother, he would have never quit.
Suddenly the chin could still take the punches, but the heart could not.
There wasn't an ounce of energy left in him. How can anybody say that he quit? That's shocking. It almost makes me want to cry, that. Honestly.
I can't regret what I've said because you're dealing in split seconds. You're dealing with the atmosphere, the excitement. A fight that you want your homeboy to win, it looks like he's losing and he turns it all around and wins the fight.
And the next words out of his mouth was, "Johnny, get the stool. Johnny, get the stool." And before Donnie could get the stool, Gerald stood on the apron of the rope. And I squirted water on the top of his head, and he looked up at me and said, "Man, that water you squirted on my head feel like that shit running inside of my head."
Whatever you wanted to do, I was going to match him. All the way, mate, all the way.
We're going to wrap this interview because we have a serious problem in the ring with Gerald McClellan.
Squeeze it, good boy, good boy.
There were 3 board doctors. All of them had to have anaesthetic experience. I was satisfied that that injured boxer had had the best possible care from us.
Keep to the side because this is ambulance access.
Tonight, McClellan remains unconscious in hospital on a diet of painkillers and good wishes.
I'm always worried about anyone that gets injured. We want to find out what the injury is. The most important thing is the man's health.
The brain is quite swollen. That's how we would expect a brain to look, really, after it's been punched for 11 rounds.
You guys wait. You guys have to wait.
Had he continued to fight, you know, it may have been fatal with this blood clot in his brain. But that's God. When God steps into the plan, he'll make a way when there is no way.
It's a small clot, but it will end his fighting career, and it will kill him if it's not taken out.
He's completely blind.
Hey, listen.
What color you want? What color popsicle you want?
He's not deaf.
What color popsicle do you want? Great.
It's more comprehension. So if he's asking to repeat things, it's not because he can't hear it, it's because he don't necessarily understand it the first time.
Right there.
And this.
Yes.
This.
Yes.
Why?
Right here.
You know.
Talking. Talking.
I'm behind you, Gerald. Stand up straight, yes. Right here. Yeah. Come on, stand up straight.
He received insurance payments, but Gerald McClellan's earnings were soon eaten up.
I'm right behind you, Gerald. In that chair.
20 years ago, he spent his first major paycheck on the house where he still lives today.
Stand up straight, Gerald.
Whatever he so chooses to do, he can rest assured that I'll be by his side to try to help him to do that.
Yeah.
Don King paid McClellan $250,000 for the fight and training costs.
Saturday. Come on. Yep. July 9th.
In addition, he and co-promoter Frank Warren estimate they paid the McClellan family more than $500,000 they were not contractually obliged to for medical, travel, and other expenses. It was Nigel Benn's defining victory.
This guy can run for the head of government now.
But it's been called into question. In 2010, Gerald McClellan's coach claimed to have evidence that Ben had used performance-enhancing drugs.
Do you want the story, man, or you don't?
Ben vehemently denies the allegations.
They said, we found blood on McClellan's boot that had steroids in it.
Did Nigel Benn cheat for that fight?
Absolutely, he was juice as a motherfucker, I promise you. Because the blood in the shoe is Nigel Benn's blood, because Gerald didn't drop a drop. Nowhere, never. Nigel Ben bled from the eye and the nose. Punishment, he put it on him. You was juiced on something, buddy.
I don't know why anyone would say anything like that. Obviously, Gerald McClellan, taken straight to hospital, wouldn't be drug tested, but Nigel Benn would have been.
In fact, Ben did not take a drug test. On his way to the dressing room, he collapsed.
You look like you was a man of excellent shape and condition who just fought a tough fight, but you go back to your fucking dressing room and you pass out. You know why you passed out? Because you didn't want to piss for him.
You fainted on the way out of the ring.
Exhaustion. What do you think? What do you think? It would have been exhaustion, nothing else but that.
Listen.
Yes.
Squeeze it. Squeeze that. When I talk to a former fighter,
right,
squeeze that. Watch it. And every Terry,
right,
because of injury, at least I almost shed tears.
It's bittersweet because boxing gave Gerald the opportunity to live a life that he wouldn't have if it weren't for boxing. But at the same time, it took the life that he had before boxing. But I still love it, and so does he.
Thank you very much. We are just about to continue.
5 weeks after Ben fought McClellan, Parliament debated a motion calling for the abolition of professional boxing. It was resoundingly defeated.
Boxing will commence immediately. You have returned to your seats. Thank you.
Boxing has done a lot for a lot of people, and for those that it touched, this is an illustration of the love and the outpouring of care that is concerned with one of our soldiers of Holland.
It's boxing. It's the art of self-defense and the warriors going in now. Boxing will always be there.
I remember it every day of my life. Oh man, this picture.